Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the building.
Get ready for a shakedown.
Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. This fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown.
Here comes the
Shakedown.
Let's go.
Yo, by the way, Dingbat here. Welcome to a Philly Shakedown podcast. Could be the most important Philly Shakedown podcast of the year. What is going on, JoeyShakes, man? How are you?
I'm all right. It's a big week this week, obviously. There's a lot that's been going on this week, and especially today, and we got a lot to talk about.
Do you have some stuff you got to get off your chest today, buddy?
I've been fighting with Eagle fans all week. You say something positive, you're being too positive. You say something negative, you're a fake Eagles fan. You're not on the, you're not on the wagon. You're not here for the ride. So got a lot of shit this week, but it is what it is.
All you could do is be honest, because if you're not honest with your opinion, no matter what, they're gonna go at you anyway. So you might as well just tell what you think and to hell with it. Youngin, what's going on? James Kemp, Tyrese, Tony B, Snag or Snog, Fat Fork, Jerry Frey, Leon Banks, House Nelson, Jameson Smith. Thank you everybody for being here. House Cat, Marcus Polk, Punjab. What's going on, guys? Yeah, man. This has been an absolutely insane week. When you lose game like the way they've lost the last 2 weeks, it makes it really long, drawn out, horrible weeks, and it just seems like it's one thing after another thing after another thing after another thing coming at this team right now, man.
Yeah, you want to hear good things, like you want to hear good things during the week, and it seemed like the players are more like taking accountability than the coaches are this week. I'm just hearing from what we're being told from these press conferences, which isn't really saying too much, that the coaching staff are they really going to change anything? And if, are they going to bring something different to the table this week? This is a do or die week for the Eagles. I mean, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, there was an interesting thing that happened defensively today. I think we both talked about it probably. Let me see if I can pull it up. That's not it. It's one of these. Where the hell is it? Did I not send it over? Hold on. Let me see. Maybe I didn't send that one over. I don't think I sent it over. Let me get it real quick.
Good.
But essentially, what it's talking about is that Kevin Byard went to Sean Desai and talked him into letting them do the scouting plans for this game versus Seattle. That's kind of crazy, is it not? Like you have your safety, a guy you just traded for, goes to the defensive coordinator and says, listen, we don't want you. Isn't that essentially saying we don't want you to do it? We'll do it ourselves?
Yeah, how long has this been going on for? Has it been going on since the beginning of the season? Is Sean Desai running out of ideas to run the defense? And now the players have to kind of I guess they've kind of had enough at this point and want to get, have the coach tell me, hey, this is how to use me. I guess I don't know if this is I can get it from week to week, certain weeks I can get it, making some changes. Maybe some players have some insight, but if this is every week, this isn't good. It's not good.
Yeah, no. And so it says Eagles safety Kevin Byard persuaded the defensive coordinator Sean Desai to let the secondary handle their own scouting report of the Seahawks this week. It's a task the coaches normally handle. I think that could be looked at as two ways.
Yeah.
One, you could look at it as, well, damn, these players do not trust this coaching and these play calling. Or, the coaches are finally listening to the players. Because we talked about it. I believe a lot of the frustration with this team and what we've seen in terms of their readiness coming out of these games, I think there's a frustration between what the coaches are doing and what they think they should be doing.
Yeah, I mean, there's almost like the defense has looked good in a few games. I mean, it's looked creative in a few games, but as of recent, it's looked very bland. It's been very off ball, and your defensive line isn't going to hit home. It just hasn't. It's not as good as last year. I think it's capable, but it's just, we've talked about this. It's why pay defensive tackles a lot of money if your corners are playing off? Why pay corners if they're not doing the one thing that they're supposed to do? What they're getting paid for is on coverage, and it just seems like every position is taken out of their element. Like nobody's successful. Everybody's set up to a failed situation right now, and it's not good. It's not good at all.
Yeah. Cantor David Super J goes, we kept talking about the defensive backs. Now Slay is out. Thank you for the super chat. We could go right to this next one. You sent me this one over earlier today. Eagle star corner reportedly underwent surgery, will miss Monday night's game. What I love about this is he went on his podcast and bitched and complained about how great he was and how everybody else sucked, but never informed everybody that he ain't playing this week because he had already had surgery. You know, dude, Slade, I'm sorry, Slade's got to go. He's got to go.
Are you saying he should have at least played with the? I mean, he didn't need to get the surgery.
No,
I
don't
need
think,
to happen.
I don't know. What do you mean he didn't need to have it?
Well, this is orthoscopic surgery. It's he's just getting his knee cleaned out. It's not like that's what Kelsey had in his elbow last year, and he missed like a few weeks before the season starts. The same thing almost.
I don't know. I mean, if it's gonna make a big difference for him playing in the playoffs, then get it done. But what I don't like is I don't like the hey, I had a great game. Look at my statistics. Yeah, the rest of the team was shitty.
Yeah, that's a horrible statement.
That pisses me off. And even if he's right and he had a good statistic game, why would you say that? It's like you don't care that the team lost. I just think it's a bad look, whether it's true or not, you know. And I did battle some Eagle fans over that who were like, "Well, he's telling the truth." I'm like, "Yeah, but you don't say something like that."
Well, no, I mean that's the reason why these podcasts from these players are a huge downfall. Like it's already enough that he already answered, like, you know, the Eagles fan that was outside with the trash cans. Then he puts the trash cans as his profile picture on Twitter. And then he's blocking people on Twitter. He's pulling a Jalen Reagor. He's pulling a Reagor. He's blocking and blocking people not from bad things. He's actually blocking people that are him putting out news to different outlets are taking it and putting what he said out. And he's getting pissed off that people are putting what he said out. It makes no sense, but he's got to stay off that shit. It's just not good. It's not.
Yeah, just focus on what you got to do, man. So now we're going to be out without Slay, and you're looking at what Ringo playing. I mean, how, dude? DK Metcalf could go for 200 yards tomorrow.
It's possible,
or Monday. It's very possible, you know. And I feel bad for Ringo because I feel like he's getting thrown to the fire.
Let him.
You know, no, he's got no choice.
Yeah,
got no choice. You know, what is your feelings going into this game in general?
I mean, on top of like already needing this win badly to really, I mean, you're not getting first seed. You might not even get second seed at this point. The Giants are one game out of the wild card right now, and they look like they have more fight than the Eagles do. So is everyone thinking the end of our schedule is going to be easy? That might not be either. Might not be true, because I just feel like if this goes on, I don't know what you do here. Like, the Eagles are going to be in the playoffs. There's no doubt about it. But this is a do or die week, and on top of the injuries, and these players are seeming to take more accountability than the coaching staff, I don't think much is going to change this week. I really don't. I want them to win badly, but truth is the truth. And look, you faced the best team in the NFL, and then you lost against a rival. They even put up a fight against a rival where you play them twice a year. Coaching staff should be more prepared. And now you're going to another game now where Drew Lock or Geno Smith is going to put over 300-400 yards on you. And it's what? So what do you say, Philly? What do you say if they do lose this game? So what do you say if they lose by a few points, or do they get blown out? What is your difference, and what would you do after this week if that happens?
But if you lose a tough game, a close game, and you got two teams fighting for what's going on, especially a desperate team like Seattle, who is more desperate than we are. They're trying to
Right.
make the playoffs. So if you lose a tough fought game, I mean it'll suck, but it won't be the end of the world to me. If you come out and you play like you did versus San Francisco and you play like you did versus Dallas, where you just don't look like you have any juice and you have no effort at the beginning of the game, I think it's over. I think they're done.
Do you think sitting out all these players now, like Cunningham's not playing, some of these players, aren't going to be, Jurgens is going to be playing. Some of these guys are not going to be playing now. So do you think they're saying, okay, well, we're not going to get first, second seed. We're not going to have home field advantage. So let's rest players now, regardless of, no, you don't think so?
No, I do not think so. Why wouldn't they think they can't get home field? I don't understand. I mean, the Eagles, they better not be looking at it like, oh, we're going to lose to Seattle and we're going to lose to the Giants. They got to be thinking, we're going to go beat Seattle. Listen, as bad as it seems, Joey, you're going to think I'm crazy. I think the Eagles are going to beat the crap out of Seattle. I think they're going to beat the crap out of them.
You need to this.
No, I do. I think they're going to beat the crap out. I do. I think this is going to be a get-right game for the offense. Listen, because if they can't respond and they can't come out with an A game and respond after the last 2 weeks, they're done. It's done. So I think that this is a game I think this is a get right game for them. And I believe that they're going to show us something. And if they don't, then listen, I'm going to tell you, I think they'll be one and done. But I think they're going to get this thing right this week. Now, I'm not saying everything's going to be perfect. The defense is fundamentally flawed. You can't fix what needs to be fixed until the offseason.
But you're saying this offense is like, this is a top 3 roster in the NFL that literally, I mean, you have no excuse why this offense can't score 35 plus points on teams. I mean, in the first halves have been what they are.
The slightest adjustment offensively, in my opinion, would change this whole offense. They would go off. I don't know if anybody watched the Colts game today, but boy, Steichen, man, you really miss what he provided. And it was a reminder of what it looked like under him in a lot of ways in which he coaches. There was one point in that game where they ran like 13 or 14 straight times. He did not care. They couldn't stop the run. I would love to see the Eagles do that because nobody can stop it once it gets going. If they make the slightest adjustments, especially in the first half of this game, I think they're going to put up 34 points. But, if they can't win this game, I just think if they can't show up for this game, then it's over. Because guys got like Kelsey, you got Lane Johnson, you got Fletcher Cox, you got all these guys, Brandon Graham. I mean, these guys are good leaders. They're not going to let this team I got to believe they're not going to let this team just fold.
It's hard to believe that the offense is going to get going the way that literally 2 weeks, like it's already enough you got your ass kicked once and then going to another game where you really have to get like your mojo back and really get your mental aspect of the game back. And to get your ass kicked again, not running the football, doing the same thing for 2 weeks, the same thing, getting your ass kicked not even the first time and still not fixing it. I mean, there's got to be, because Nick Sirianni's press conference did not make me feel comfortable saying, oh, well, we're not going to stray away from what we're doing. We're going to keep doing what we're doing, where it doesn't mean if it doesn't work, we're going to, you know what I mean? Like that just showed me like he still feels like his game plan, if that's the case, is still going to work. And if that's the case, they're not going to win this game. If they can't be, I'm not saying a perfect 4 quarters. All I've been asking for is a productive full game. All I'm asking, something productive. Not to have to win on every series, but put some points up, finish some drives, run the football. Still not doing it. I would say
if they just have a better second quarter, they'll win the game. Because the second quarter is always the self-destruct quarter. It's always the quarter which everything goes to shit. And then it's just a matter of can we come back or not. It's always that second quarter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, if they can't show up and they can't go blow for blow with the Seattle Seahawks this week, I don't care that it's in Seattle. then this team is there's something else going on that to me means you got to fire all the coaches. Maybe get rid of both coordinators. I really believe that. Like if they can't respond now, I think they will respond because I think this leadership on this team is not going to let this happen, and I do think they'll win. And not only do I think they're going to win, Joey, I think Dallas is losing tomorrow
against the Bills. Bills.
They're going to go to Bills and Buffalo and play them. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, there's one thing where it's like, hey, like they can go in, the Eagles can go into this game and have everything that they need to fix, and that's perfectly fine. But it's going to be tough, and then now you have injuries on top of it, and so many guys are out. So this team is banged up. I mean, it's been banged up all year, and it's even worse now. Like maybe they're just saying themselves, like not saying they have to rest guys, but there's going to be some type of rest moment, and then you still have 4 games left, but
If they win tomorrow, or if they win Monday, will you feel a lot better?
Depends how they win.
If they win, let's say they win where the offense looks good, but the defense still looks suspect.
I'll feel better. I'll feel a lot better. If the offense can put points up, I'll feel a lot better. If they're struggling and these routes are a lot shorter, like these routes are taking too long to develop, like offense. Apparently, I don't know what offensive player said this because A.J. Brown's denying that he said it. I thought it was him because he's the one that usually opens his mouth about the offense being predictable or whatever it is. And these routes are taking too long to develop. Like, I got to see a hot route. I need to see something middle of the field. And it seems like every pass has to be over 15 to 25 yards almost all the time. I think that third element of Jalen Hurts not using his legs at times is a problem. And because he's injured and they got him injured since the beginning of the season where he got hit too many times is a problem. I think, yes, running the football. And I would absolutely love to activate Rashad Penny and put him in red zone. It just ground for fucking pound.
Look at this fucking guy. This is this moron. This is a guy that comes in. I've never seen this guy before. And he says something that's not even true. I hate when people just say shit that's not even true. I don't think we said shit about Shane Steichen last year at all, except for thank you for calling the plays. You were completely wrong. And I think you're on the wrong place. I think you've been having too much eggnog, maybe doing a little too much. Who the hell are you? You guys talked about Shane last year, and the offense did have a great game last year. There were a couple bad games. When?
They dominated last year.
Now you guys want him back? Get the frig out of here. Go bend your mom over. Get out of here. This guy. Who the hell is this guy? Never seen him before talking bullshit. Cam, David Super Chat goes, run game been bad since Stout became coordinator.
He was a run game coordinator last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, listen, it's not the running game doesn't work. It's that they don't do the running game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're not even doing the running game. So, how can it be bad? When they commit to the run and they don't use Gainwell, they seem to move the ball effectively. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's true.
So, I don't know. I don't understand these people. I hate when people come in with just bullshit. It's like they just go at random, I don't even ever seen that guy before. Who the hell is he? You know what I'm saying? And then he wants to say that we said, when did we ever talk about Steichen?
Seriously. The defense.
We were about
scoring.
Jonathan Gannon.
It's Gannon's been the whole. Gannon was, offenses were coming back on this defense because Gannon was letting teams come back in all these games last year. We had no issue with. We may have nitpicked. We may have nitpicked that. I don't even remember. We may have nitpicked that one or two things, maybe to run with,
guys full of shit.
Miles Sanders a little bit more in the first half, but other than that, because Miles Sanders had about 5 games where they didn't really run him too much in the first half, but that was the least of our problems, though. I mean, that was nothing. That was just nitpicking.
Yeah. Dan says there were people saying it was stupid to run Jalen's offense with Minshew. Well, the thing was, Steichen has changed that offense to kind of cater to what Minshew does. I don't think he did that as much with us because it was only 1 or 2 games. No one, David Super Chat, he goes, if we don't win Sunday, it's a wrap. I just hope we don't play disinterested football like we have for the past 2 games. I agree.
No,
to me, that's the main thing for me is you gotta come out. You gotta play football, man. you got to be ready to play. You've got to want to win as much as the team you're playing against.
It's true.
That's the first thing. They
well,
look
that's it.
just interested.
I'm just saying, though, because like the Eagles can have the best mindset going into this game. The players can have the best mindset. But once this play call starts and it's just series after series, their morale is going to go down again. And it's going to be finger pointing all over again in the locker room. First, it's the anonymous people, that the players that you don't know who said what. That's the start of it. And then once like the Eagles start, Josh Sweat was probably the most like pissed off and was like, I feel like we're letting this whole thing slip away. And it's a problem. Yeah. It's a problem.
Yeah. Chief David Super Chat goes, this is the game the Birds need to blitz. Gino doesn't do well. He has pressure in his face. Yeah, he doesn't. He will turn the ball over. The other thing is I do not think they can run the ball. I really don't believe that Seattle could run the ball on us. So I think they're going to have to move the ball through the air. Now, Gino can run, but I don't know how healthy his groin's going to be. So I don't know how much running he's going to do. It would be nice to blitz, but I don't think this team even knows how to blitz.
I wouldn't put it past Charbonnet either, because Charbonnet he's quick. He's really quick. But
the one thing the defense can do better that can help a lot is they've got to be better against the run. You got to stop letting these teams get 3rd and 2 on you, 3rd and 1. It's too much.
And here's another thing too, like even with the offense, like we we'll get pretty much into the super chat, but say the super chat real quick.
All right, Mount David super chat goes, we move the ball. Jalen has too many turnovers.
Now,
too many fumbles. I agree with the fumbles.
Like like Brian Johnson had the press conference and he literally blamed the players in his press conference for this one game. He's just, the players are, he's this guy. It's a scapegoat complex. It's literally like, hey, like, oh, well, when you get into the enemy territory and you fumble the ball 3 times, like, obviously, I don't know if the Eagles would have won that game last week, even if they didn't have those fumbles. I don't know. I don't know if they would have won. I mean, that's how bad it is. I mean, I mean, you can't fumble the ball 3 times. I think because like when the Eagles start to, teams are scoring on you, you're holding on to the ball in open space. You want to get more yards. You're trying to force yourself to get more yards, not falling to the ground. And then you end up, getting the ball taken from you. There were people complaining about the practice that they had. Like they're trying to practice ball security. And it's like the most unrealistic fucking drill.
Oh my God. That was the dumbest drill I've ever seen.
People were literally coming up to me, like they were coming up in the comments and they were like, oh, dude, I guess you've never played football before. I guess you never played D1 football. And I'm like, dude, let me tell you something. Like the league is so afraid to, during these practices, to like a football connected to a piece of string to one little mini pillow stick. It's not a bare hand going inside. 3 guys trying to rip the ball out of your hand. It's not the same.
We used to do drills for fumbles, but it wasn't anything like that.
No.
You would have to go through and everybody be slapping the ball or whatever. It wasn't like that. To me, that was like, why are you making Jalen Hurts fall to his knees and then get up and fall to his knees again? Doesn't he have a bad knee? To me, that even Seth Joyner was laughing about it. Derek Gunn was laughing about it. Jalen Hurts, when he gets up, he's shaking his head like, this is dumb. All right. So it was stupid. It was stupid.
I don't know.
It just was.
He looked like he didn't want to do it. He looks like
because it's not going to help him. Matt Weeks says the problem is we don't use Swift more. No, we definitely don't use Swift. And they don't use them till like the 3rd quarter. I'm telling you, if you go back and watch the Eagles games, look at when they give up the leads and teams score a lot of points. It's the 2nd quarter. And what happens in the 2nd quarter? They take DeAndre Swift out of the game and insert Gainwell. And then once that happens, defensive teams do not care that Gainwell's even on the field. They don't even acknowledge him.
No, he's
not
a threat.
No threat. No,
he's not a threat at all.
And everybody says he's such a great pass blocker. He stinks. He stinks at pass blocking. He stinks. Boston Scott is better than him.
Yeah.
Boston Scott should be the backup to DeAndre Swift.
I believe it.
I
believe it.
It's just crazy. If Jalen doesn't want to do dumb practice drills, then he should hold on to the friggin' ball. Yeah, I guess that's a way to say it. But if why not instead of do pointless drills for fumbling. Do ones that actually matter. Like there are ones that you could do that actually good. I don't see what that one does, except for making your quarterback unnecessarily fall to his knees when he supposedly have bad knees. That doesn't make sense to me.
Not to me.
We averaged 7 yards every running play against the Cowboys. Yeah, run the ball. I think, what did Swift have? Like 4 carries in the first half of that game? If it was even that.
Yeah, it wasn't
It was something like that. Yeah. For whatever reason, the Eagles don't like to run the ball in the first half. They don't. That's not their MO. But if they would do it, it would completely settle everything down, dude. And I think they're going to come out, and I think they're going to run the ball this week. And I think they're going to run early. I do. And I think they're going to get right. I think this is going to be a get-right game for the offense. I think Hurts going off. I think A.J. Brown's going off. I think Devontae Smith's going off. I know you don't believe me, but I'm telling you, I think.
Hey, I respect it. I respect it. Look, it's okay if we disagree on some things. It's okay. Yeah. Like, we're not going to be like, yo, what? Oh, you're not a real Eagles fan. I'm not gonna get into that thing. But I really have to be like turned. Like I really have.
Well, I will tell you this: if they don't do what I'm saying, I'm going to be the first person going, dude, we're one and done. I don't think we're going anywhere. No. To me, you have to win this game, or you have to, at the very least, you have to have a fight. You have to have fight.
I think if they lose this game, and I don't care what they do the rest of the games, but if they're one and done in the playoffs, do you think this is one of the biggest Eagles collapse seasons in history?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you had the best record in the National Football League, and you had 2 games. You were up 2 games. You were up 2 games. Look, if you go back to the 49ers game, if they win that game, it's essentially locked up. Everything is essentially locked up. Nobody's going to catch you. And they blew it. And so now you're in a situation where people think they're the 5th seed. I don't look at them as the 5th seed right now, because the only reason they're listed as a 5th seed because the schedule hasn't played out. Essentially, if they just win out, they win the division of the 2 seed. But I don't know. It could turn into the collapse. I mean, I'm trying to think the biggest collapse. I don't know if you remember Rich Kotite days. Rich Kotite, I think, was set like 7-2, and we were just rolling, and the whole thing collapsed, dude. I think we finished like 8-8 or something like that. So, this would be up there. Brooks, thank you for super chat. Goes you, Swift, and Penny. Agreed. Mad Titan, Denver Super Chat goes, plain simple, boys. Hurts has regressed. He's not seen the field. Watch the breakdown of the 49ers game. Open receivers all game. Hurts always looking for the deep ball. Goddard and Swift were open. Well, that's interesting. Why is he regressing in that way? Why is Jalen Hurts looking for only the big plays? See, I think that comes
it's more than
from
that.
A lack of balance on the offense. And because of that, you have a quarterback who feels he has to make things happen, and he's trying to do more. That's what I think. They've got to get back to some sort of balance on offense. Gavin Davis super chat. He goes, "Don't you guys think Swift is being used less due to injury history?" I don't
tired of that.
I don't know. If you're going to keep him 1 year, and you're not going to resign him, what are you holding him back for? The thing is, I mean, I guess they could be worried about injury history, but man, then you should have traded for Derrick Henry or something. You should have had another back.
I know. It's like the one game he had like 170 yards against the Vikings, and we were okay with that because he didn't get any snaps the first game against the Patriots. And then we said, okay, maybe they could rest him a little bit off that game. But then all year it's been, that's what, they'll just wait. They'll just, they don't want to unleash him until the playoffs. It's done now. Like I'm looking for 18 to 25 carries with DeAndre Swift at this point.
Some God says, you wanted Darius out. Now you got your wish 500. I didn't want him out of it for injury. I want him replaced next year in the offseason.
Yes.
Not now. Not right this second. No. I did watch the Colts game. I did. I actually thank God that Tomlin kept calling timeouts because it forced Indianapolis to kick a field goal and I hit the over. So I was very happy about that. But I did win the game. I did bet that game today. Jalen Hurts a one-read pony. If the first read fails, he's tucking it and running, but he's not even running it like that. I mean, I don't know. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, people were talking about Jalen Hurts MVP, 5 straight comebacks. Look what this guy's doing in pressure situations. Now he can't read defenses. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Something's up with this team.
I think he's handicapped. I think they've made him one-dimensional, and like you said, no balance in these games. It's made him just look for the guy downfield. I feel like he's looking for a PI call. He'll throw in double coverage to Quez Watkins. He'll throw it to AJ Brown double coverage. It doesn't matter what it is. Now the Cowboys game, yes, there were some crucial drops in that game, 2 from Devontae Smith and 1 from AJ Brown. So there was actually some good passes in that game, but the guy's going to make mistakes when you're making him look one-dimensional. A quarterback is not going to get you out of a situation with bad coaching. It's not going to happen. So
yeah. Joseph Santiago says, you guys don't get it. Your team is still feeling last year's Super Bowl loss. They look tired. They do look tired. I will agree with you there. They look either tired, disinterested, or frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you're right. Maybe the amount of football they've played in the last year is part of it. I mean that's that. If that's the case, then there's nothing you can do about that. My fear is it's more to do with other things, because I feel like if you're going to struggle and be tired from last year's Super Bowl and have that hangover, aren't you not going to get to 10-1? Like once you're at the 10-1, you're kind of past that, are you not?
Yeah, I get it.
But I mean, I think we'll find out on Monday. Colin beat David Super Chat goes, one thing is for sure, Hurts is not the problem. No, listen, Hurts is the only reason, in my opinion, you're 10-3. We're complaining about a 10-3 team that has the best record in the National Football League. It's very crazy that this is the situation we're in. I gotta think that when they do good, we tend to react to being good. And then when they do bad, we overreact to being bad. It's got to be somewhere in the middle. And that's what I'm trying to remind myself. We're not as good as we thought, but we're not as bad as we thought either.
They haven't played in the middle. They've either played average or they've played really bad. They haven't played great.
By halves.
By halves. Yeah.
By every game. Bad first half, great second half. Bad first half, great second half.
No adjustments.
And because they come into these games, and I think the game plan sucks. I think it's analytics driven, and that's why they throw to 3 guys, because the analytics tells them to throw to AJ Brown, Goddard, and Devontae Smith. Nothing else. Staying mode, David Super Chat. He goes, it's our offensive scheme. We look like 2021 Eagles that got blown out by the Bucs. We miss Shane bad. Colts game, he has me missing our 20. Yeah, well, watching that offense today for the Colts, you could see certain feels that we had last year. Crush David Super Chat goes, the Cowboys are too scary. They're an overall better organization. I wish we were like them. Oh, here's another Cowboy fan that's pretending to be an Eagle. Why do Cowboy fans?
They're weird.
Why do they pretend to be Eagle fans all the time?
Or Niner fans.
Or Niner fans. They do it all the time.
Weird.
They come in and like, oh, I'm a big Eagle fan, but man, I really wish we had that satanic star on our helmet. I wish we sacrificed chickens the same way they do. Like, I never understood why Cowboy fans do that.
Oh, don't worry.
It's only them, dude. It's only them.
It's laugh now, cry later, because that's what's going to happen later on. So enjoy it while it lasts.
They're going down tomorrow. Dude.
Enjoy it.
They better not lose tomorrow. And I will be streaming that game, by the way. They better not lose tomorrow, because I am going to give them hell. Can't turn it. David Super Chat. He goes, our defensive rotation bad, no depth. Swift and Reddick are tired. Yeah, I think you need another defensive end this offseason. I think you need a pass rusher. Brandon Graham, I mean, I like Brandon Graham, but, man, he's not having the same year he had a year ago, Joe. I mean, a year ago, it was double-digit sacks.
Yeah, not a great year this year.
I think Carter and Davis, I think it's fair to question how tired and worn out those guys. Did they hit a wall? It's possible. But, the one thing I think this defense can do, and can do. There's two things I think that they still can do to get things better. Okay, you can't fix this defense fundamentally,
right?
But I think if you can get back to stopping the run, okay, if you can get back to that, and you can find ways to get pressure, and even if you have to blitz, but find ways to get pressure, I think you could at least slow some offenses up, dude. I do.
Yeah, I mean, I think Desai has everything at his disposal, but it's just running out of ideas. I mean, I feel like they put Desai was hired to run this Gannon type defense, and maybe Gannon's the only one that can run it. I mean, that's what I think. I mean, maybe Desai doesn't run a defense like that. I don't know.
What do you think about the thought process that these coaches, when they're coached, are forced to coach in a certain way that the front office wants? Like, for instance, look at Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz's defense looked horrible with us. I mean, he had a front nine, they rushed okay. Well, he couldn't stop the pass. He played the sticks. You had 500 yards passing versus the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Now he goes to Cleveland, and he's got what, the #1 defense? They look completely different, dude.
Yeah. Even look at Gannon's defense in Arizona. It's
yeah,
they know how to get to the quarterback.
Look how much more Gannon blitzes with Arizona than he did with the Eagles.
Crazy.
Is it possible that this team says, here are our analytics, this is what they tell us, this is how we want you to scheme these teams?
I think they need to give more control to the coordinators and let them run their thing. I think Howie Roseman needs to let go. If they lose this game Monday, I feel like and I think it will get worse if they lose Monday night. And I feel like it will be a clean house with coaches. And if they clean house with coaches, it really depends. I don't think Nick would get fired, but I think players do want to play for Nick. But at the same time, if Nick has got to be willing to change something and just be a head coach, just be a motivator, and that's it. Howie's the only one that could change this, because if you're drafting players, best player available, we changed the way we're drafting the last 3 years. If he's drafting players and the schemes are exactly the same, you're just wasting money. You're wasting just drafting players in general.
Yeah. So we got over 500 people in the chat between both channels. Thank you guys so much. Hit that like. Make sure you guys subscribe. I hear you. Your boy Roy says 500. I know what you're saying, man. We haven't started off well, so it looks like we're lacking talent offensively. But I think if we run the ball in the first half, we fix a lot of our problems. I think we fix all of the problems. I mean, we were saying that earlier. If the problems on offense, especially in the second quarter and stuff, I think some small tweaks, like running the ball more, would completely fix the problems on offense. I definitely do.
Yeah.
I think it would, but the question is, are they going to do that?
Right.
Matt Weeks, all it does is bandage your bigger issues. It doesn't fix them in the end. I guess I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. People are talking dumb shit after 2 losses to 2 good teams. Here's the problem, I think, Eagles fan. It's not that you lost to 2 good teams. That's fine. That happens. It's the way you lost. It's the effort that was given in those losses. The 49ers flat out bullied the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Eagles allowed them to.
If you can't beat 2 good teams, then how could you think you're going to contend in the playoffs? Like, that's why we're pissed off. Like, they couldn't even keep it close with the 49ers, and they couldn't keep it close with the Cowboys, our rival. This is a division matchup. Usually when it's the division rival, it's take out the record book, take out, everything else. Like, usually these games are close, and that's why we're pissed off. It's okay. They just lost against 2 good teams. Okay, so what are they going to do in the playoffs then? If they can't even contend with both of those teams? Yeah, it makes no sense.
We got John Moron Doe is back. It's good to see John Moron Doe. Morons just continue to be morons, I guess. But no, I mean, listen. It's not that you lost to 2 teams. You already beat Dallas once, but man, they just looked like they didn't want to be there. They just looked like they didn't want to win and they just didn't come out and play with any energy. That is, to me, I think why people are frustrated more than anything.
It's like people are satisfied because we have a good record and, they already have a playoff spot, and they're just satisfied with going to the playoffs like this. And I'm not going to have it like that. I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, we'll be fine. We'll get it fixed. Like, and I hope they do get it fixed, but time's running out.
You can't, you can fix your effort level. You can fix your energy level. You can fix not turning the ball over 3 times. You can fix the play calling. You can fix those things. The things you can't fix your linebackers. You can't fix your safeties. You can't fix your secondary. The fundamentally on defense, you can't fix it. You need the off season. But there's a lot of things that they can fix. This is a 10-3 team. They are good enough to get this thing going. But if you want to tell me that against San Francisco, to have a team come in dressed in all black, to push you around in warm-ups and not even fight back, and then against Dallas, to allow Dallas to hit you the way they hit you, not even respond. If you want to tell me that that's acceptable, I can't agree with that. Can't agree.
It's like woulda, coulda, shoulda. It's like the Eagles shouldn't have won this game. The Eagles shouldn't have won those 4 comeback games. It's just ridiculous at this point.
Right. Fabio Davis Super Chat. He goes, "We have no leaders with fire wanting to win."
Not one.
I mean, I don't know. You don't think Lane Johnson or Kelsey or Brandon Graham? You don't think those guys want to lead and don't have fire? Like this is why I'm thinking this game is going to be different. They're going to give us it's going to look different. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna be like agreeing with you.
Yeah, there's a video of I guess they're doing like the the whatever it's called they do on YouTube where they do the long videos that we watch every week from game to game or whatever. And apparently Sirianni's video, he was cursed down all the players in the meeting room, and I don't know something, but I don't know.
The question is, will they respond? That that's the question. Jameson Smith, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, public service announcement. Dallas fans, get the F out of the stream. Listen, they want to stay. They're more than welcome because we know tomorrow night you ain't going to see them after tomorrow. Cam Turner, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, yo, Philly 500, your pinky doesn't have to be up every sip. Every sip, my friend. Every sip. Especially when I got my big-ass pinky ring on, which I don't have on today. But yes, it does. I love you too, Jameson Smith. We covered our bad play by we won. Look at our record. I think there's truth to that, and that's why I expected so much more after that San Francisco loss, and now I'm hoping that we'll see it in Dallas. I just feel like if they come out with the same effort level, the same energy versus Seattle, I just think that you can't fix it then, Joey. I don't think you can fix it.
No, it's too late. I think it's too late at that point. I mean, you have 3 games left after that, but it's hard to tell.
You got to play. You got to play Danny DeVito.
Tommy Cutlets. Tommy Cutlets.
I call him Danny DeVito. I ain't calling him Tommy Cutlets. I like the kid though. I do, but he's a giant. But how could I not like the?
I think after
little grease ball running around.
I think he's really like put a lot of excitement into the league, and but Giants fans should be happy because I think now I'm not saying this guy's going to be something, but you never know, you know what I mean? Because now they have options now. So
yeah. Philly Strong says, yo, 500, me and my wife are going to our first Eagles game on Monday night, hoping for a big win because it's only it can only be one dominant bird. Fly Eagles fly. Man, shout out to you, man. I hope you guys have a great time and you're delivered a great win because we need it.
I hope you have some drinks before the game. I hope you didn't waste any money going to this game. I really hope they win this game. They're really hope they win.
We're going to win this game. We're going to win this game. We're going to win this game. We're going to take it out on Seattle's ass. We're going to take it out on their ass. We got to. I just don't see. I don't see. I close my eyes and I think about this game. I can't. There's not one scenario. It's like what's that show? Friggin' damn it, the Marvel movie. I can't. The Infinity Wars, right? It's like when when the dude's sitting there looking into all the futures, and there's only one scenario.
Oh
in which
God, would you Doctor Strange? No,
Doctor
stop.
Strange is doing
1,600.
Yeah, 1,006 million possibilities. Yes, there's like 1.6 million possibilities, and Seattle doesn't win in any of them. That's how I see it, you know. Maverick 1 day for Super Chat goes, I will be at the game tomorrow, Philly. If they play like shit, I will be let out in handcuffs. Don't allow it. If they do it, man, run down there and start yelling at the coach. Yeah, man. I just can't. I can't see us losing 3 in a row. I mean, anything's possible, but I expect to win out. I mean, my expectations at this point are that they're going to win out, and they're going to be at the very worst a 2 seed. And a lot of people think that the 2 seed is easier than the 1 seed. You know, so we'll see. Keith Davis Super Chat goes, Sirianni might not have lost a team, but Desai has the defensive players on defense don't respect him. That's what's clear when Slay changed his assignment 2 weeks ago. And that's why Kevin Byard basically got Desai to allow the players to scout the opposition. I mean, do you realize what he's saying?
That's like
the coach is letting the players do his job.
Yeah, that was like last year when like players were giving feedback on how to use them and Gannon's defense last year on those reports.
And I do think that could be beneficial though.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
It could help, you know. I mean, remember in 2017, I believe, you know, after the first 3 games, I think right before that Chargers game, you know, right after we beat the Giants barely, didn't Lane go up to Doug Peterson and say, you got to run more? We got to run more. And they started running the next week with Garrett Blount, and look what happened.
Boom.
So sometimes it can help. It can help, you know, and you know, hopefully it will.
But the head coach will say, "Oh, we need to do this. Oh, yeah, we need to do this," but then it doesn't happen. That's what he does
because they're full of shit. I mean, if you look at every game plan they have, it's the same thing: throw in the first half, run in the second half. Every team, no matter the scheme, no matter the style. That's their basic plan. It's just about how they're going to execute it. And that's why every second quarter they suck. You know, let's see. We're going to lose 1 against the Giants. You know, I know everybody keeps saying we're going to lose 1 against the Giants, but if we lose 1 against the Giants, it's going to be because everything's locked up at the end of the year. We always beat the Giants. Even when we're bad, we beat the Giants. I don't think the Giants are going to beat us. I'm more worried about Arizona beating us than Giants. I'll be honest with you. They ain't losing to the Giants. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. Eagles need to fumigate the link of the little rat Howie. Howie gets it all, man. I don't know what Howie's doing, bro. He better draft Jeremiah Trotter Jr. though. I'm gonna be pissed off. You got to get a linebacker, man. Like we can't keep doing this with the linebackers. Like you got to get yourself a decent linebacker. Dad says, did anyone say giving up? I just know what my eyes tell me. They haven't been dominant all year. The play calling has been horrendous on both sides of the ball. Talent gets you so far. I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but the way I look at it is I look at it like those are things that they can still change if they want. It's not too late, you know. But I mean, look, this game's going to tell us all that we need to know. If the Eagles go into Seattle, which is a hard place to play, and a desperate team that is on the verge of being knocked out of playoffs and needs to win, I think that Seattle, if the Eagles come out with a win, I think everything's right back on track, man. I really do. I think we're right back on track.
Yeah, if they look above average dominant, I could offensively at least. Defensively, I just like you said, I think there's only so much you could do. And so if the players are taking over the whole entire game plan, then you know, only certain things are going to happen. But the secondary definitely needs, and we'll see Keely Ringo. I mean, he needs work. We've been asking for it. So give the guys more work. You know, Ricks will have more work. I don't see why not. But
yeah. I agree. Let's see. You're going to have to take DK out of the game. That means you have to blitz. The only way you're really going to stop DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett or Jackson Smith is you have to get pressure on Geno Smith. You're not going to be able to cover them, all right? You're not going to be able to cover them. See, if the Eagles would actually change things up, this would be a great week to put Bradbury on DK and just let him shadow.
Let him get physical, yeah.
Let him shadow and get physical because he actually doesn't do a bad job against physical receivers. So he may, he might have a decent game, but they're not going to do it. And you're going to have situations where they're asking Ringo to cover DK Metcalf. So the only way you can neutralize that passing game is you're going to have to get to Geno Smith. They're going to have to get pressure. Prodby, I don't know. Prodby, thank you so much for super chat. I don't know how to say that name. Seahawks defense is ran by one of Vic Fangio's former linebacker coaches with the Bears when Desai was with them. Their defense is their defense is not good either. That's what I'm saying. I think this is a get-right game for the Eagles and that offense. It really should be.
Yeah.
Bradbury doesn't have the speed that's better. Well, who are you going to put on him? Ringo? What are your other choices? Tell me the other choice. Who do you put on DK?
You don't have many choices here.
What's your other choice? You have no choice. You have no choice. Slay's not playing. I would still take a veteran corner like Bradbury than putting a guy like Ringo on him or a Ricks or a rookie or Josh Joe. Like, who are you going to put on him? Vontae Maddox can't cover him. He's not even back yet. I don't see a choice. There is no choice.
Yeah.
There is no Darius Slay playing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think Jamal Adams is disappointing, especially in the passing game. The one thing about Seattle's defense, though, is they will hit you.
They're physical.
They are aggressive. They're very physical, and they will be looking to hit, and there's no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
Matt says, and the Seahawks remain owning since 2008, and the season is a sunken ship. Yeah, they do. They do. They have us since 2008, and that just tells me we're due.
Mm-hmm.
We're due. Mal, David Super Chat says Ringo will surprise everyone Monday. Listen, I'm not saying Ringo's not going to be a good player down the road, but I mean, the guy had one snap defensively before last week, and I never seen a guy give up two penalties that were accepted on the same play in my life.
Yeah, it was a face mask and a PI, right?
And I think that Ringo's in for a tough week. I just do.
He needs work. I mean, you got to give it to him. I mean, I'm glad they're giving him I'm glad they're giving him a shot. I'm glad it's not just Eli Ricks or it's Josh Jobe coming in because he's played more games. I'm glad they're giving this guy a shot.
Right.
So
41-33. Thank you for Super Chat. He goes, either of you guys watch MMA? I don't watch much of it.
Mm-mm.
I always say I'm going to, but then I never do. DB Talking now says, I think Ringo just had a rough outing last week. We have to be patient with him, but either Ringo or Rex. Oh, I agree. You got to be patient with him. But people are going to not be patient with him if he goes out there and DK Metcalf tears him up. People are going to say he's stinking his ass. I will not do it. It's going to take a lot longer than playing this one game for him to be ready. When we can really judge Ringo, maybe next year. Give him a whole full off season, get him into training camp, and then let's see. But to think that he's going to go out and just shut down DK Metcalf, that would be quite a feat. I can't expect him to and put that on him, is what I'm saying. Ridiculous. To let Ringo sink or swim, should have played him earlier in the season, same as Nolan, than a first-round pick. We could have grabbed Joey Porter or Jr. I know. We liked Joey Porter Jr., both of us. So, Nolan Smith does need more snaps. He does, and Ringo's going to get snaps. He deserves it. He needs them. I agree. But if he has a bad game or if he gives up big yards, don't give up on him just after 1 week. He needs time to adjust. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
I think Sidney Brown's played really, really well. I think he's played good at safety. I think he's made some good plays.
He should have been playing all year.
Yes.
Sorry. He should have been starting all year. Young Boy says, maybe this was the reason Peterson was so frustrated during and here in Philly. The limit of control you have with this team, just trying to puzzle up the people. No, I think that's exactly what happened. I think he went to the Eagles and said, I need more control. I need my guys at the coaching staff, and they wouldn't do it, and they parted ways with him. I mean, you think about when they fired Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson had, before that season, which they didn't make the playoffs, he went out, won you a Super Bowl, and went to the playoffs 3 consecutive years. Had 1 year you don't go to playoffs, and they fired him. Come on.
Well, do you remember when we were hiring a head coach, and I remember we were trying to bring I don't know if it was for head coach or court. I remember Brian DeBall, we tried to get some of these other guys, and they wouldn't even answer the call. They wouldn't even make the phone call. I think because they already know how things are run over here and all the control, and that's why they even make an interview.
You're always going to get a guy like a Nick Sirianni, a young coach who wants his first opportunity to come in and coach. You're always going to get that because those guys are willing to do what the front office does to get their foot in the door and a job. But what if Nick Sirianni takes the Eagles back to the Super Bowl and they win? Is he going to start wanting more control? And then what happens? So there's no way Howie Roseman is ever going to put himself in a situation that he was in with Chip Dip Kelly. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but the difference is you're going to put control in a coordinator. You're not putting control in a head coach that's making all the decisions. That's the only difference it's going to be. You got to have your own, like Wink Martindale or just some coordinator does his own thing with the defense. Not because, we were successful with this scheme, so we need to find the right coach for someone to run this scheme. And what we were promised is the total opposite of what's shown here. I think coordinators just need more control over the game plan, and veteran coordinators or somebody that knows what they're doing. We figured Brian Johnson, because he was around Shane Steichen last year, but I don't know where the bullshit starts to where it ends. Is it Nick? Because from what the questions were answered by Dave Spadaro to the fans, that this is Nick's game plan offensively, and the coordinators piggyback off that. That is not good. Not good.
Not good. I agree. Now, David Super Chat goes, DK killed Slay last time they played anyway. Oh, man.
Yeah.
He beat the crap out of Slay. David Super Chat goes, I think we'll see Bayard on DK in some spots. A safety on a receiver like DK, that's tough, man. That's dangerous. But, listen, in certain situations, I guess you got to do what you got to do. He's had enough trouble covering tight ends.
Hasn't been a good year.
DK on him. It's gonna. Jason Peters is still playing. He's on to Seattle now, right?
41 years old. 42.
Gainwell is in. All our problems are solved. Gainwell's in. Gainwell. I know how to click off that. Slay has been great in coverage. His tackling sucks, but he's not a problem. It's the middle of our defense. It's our coach. And the middle of the defense is bad. The linebacking is bad. Okay? The safety hasn't been good.
When is Nakobe Dean coming back? He's on IR. When is he coming back? It's been weeks.
They got to draft Jeremiah Trout Jr. I don't know, dude. Draft 54. Draft 54 hats with an axe on it. There you go. You got to get them. It's a no-brainer. I don't see why don't you want a linebacker?
And depending on what happens next year, and we won't talk about it, but depending on what happens next year in the offseason, depending how this season ends, if they get Trotter in the building, if they even draft him and they have the same coaches, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good.
It's going to be interesting. 41 to 33 favorite super chat. He goes, I think Ringo has the best chance against DK. He has the size and speed. 2 old guys would get eaten up. D-line is key to winning and blocking wide. Oh, yeah. The D-line there's no question. The D-line is it. Do you think Ringo has the best chance? Listen, I hope you're right. I hope if Ringo goes out there and plays good against DK Metcalf, that will be huge for us.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a great sign, you know. But man, DK Metcalf's a monster. You know, it's going to be a tough. What I'm saying, and what I'm saying, and the argument I'm making is, I don't want people to get down on Ringo if he struggles versus DK Metcalf.
No,
because you know how people are, though. You know, people be like, he's ass, he got beat. We should never drafted him. What a bust.
Even
can't
Byard,
do that.
even Shaq Leonard, they haven't been here long. Like, Shaq Leonard's not doing shit. It's like, dude, like,
I think he only played like 3 or 4 snaps. He didn't barely play last week. He's gonna have to play a lot this week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just got to be patient. I think DK is going to get his yards. I think he's going to get his catches. But if you could keep that run game from being non-existent, and you can get pressure on Geno Smith, and if you could bring added pressure on Geno Smith and test his groin out, you know, and I pause that, you know, I don't mean test his groin with like hands to groin. I mean, you know, like make him run around, hit him, that kind of thing. Shaq Leonard ain't doing shit. He's been there 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is that?
You can't go crazy with it. Like, guys come in the building, you expect them to be superstars. It's not going to happen in 1 week. It ain't happening.
No, it's not.
Oh, let's talk about. Well, let's go to some more news. Let's bring up the Avonte Maddox news.
Well, that's great news. Avonte Maddox could be coming back soon, right? I think I have it. Where was it?
You have it. I saw it.
Here it is. So Avonte Maddox is still in the IR, but the Eagles haven't ruled out the possibility of return some point in the playoffs. He's working on the side field today. That was yesterday. Today, the news is that they're going to be activating the 21-day window next week. And he should be back. So he could be back before the playoffs even start. If you could get him back by preferably
Cardinals,
Christmas Day, but at Cardinals at worst, and give them 2 weeks to kind of get going, that would be big. Star Force 97, David Super Chat goes, don't get why we let our offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators walk after Super Bowl run. You know, to me, the disappointing one, and we, you know, I think I did a whole rant about the Colts stealing all our offensive coordinators all the time. But when you know those guys get a chance to be a head coach, they're going to take it. They're going to take the opportunity.
Well, you're going to have
you're
going to have coordinators for 2 years. So after the first year, you could block them from talk. After the first year for Gannon and Steichen, you can block them for not talking to other teams. Once they get after their second year, you can't stop them from talking to other teams. That's the rule. And I thought Steichen was going to stay when he didn't get the Panthers job. I was like, okay, cool, good. You know, Brian Johnson stay as quarter. You know, there was a big chance Brian Johnson was going to walk somewhere to be a coordinator somewhere else. And I figured, you know what? You know, they know Hurts and him know each other, like keep him on the roster. But I didn't think it was going to turn out the way it was going to turn out.
Would you consider, if things don't go perfect at the end of the year, if things go sour, would you consider firing Brian Johnson and making Frank Reich your offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Because I think Frank Reich as an offensive coordinator would be there for at least 3 years. Because nobody's going to rush to give him a head coaching job right away.
Right.
So he's got to build that back up. But he might be there 3 or 4 years, you know?
Right. And they're close, and we need something steady for a few years. We need,
you know what they should do? They should just fire everybody and hire Belichick when he gets fired from New England.
A lot of Eagle fans were talking about that.
Let's do that shit. Let's go. No, that would never work.
He's a control freak.
That would never work.
He's a control freak.
It would be the front office wars. Howie Roseman versus Bill Belichick, dude. They would be killing each other. Dave says, we love you, Phil. You love you too. We love you too. So, all right, Joey. What is your prediction for this game?
I'm not giving one because they don't deserve one until I see an actual.
You don't think they're winning?
I hope they do. I mean, it's tough right now because on top of what we need to get the play calling right, but at the second degree of what's going on, like you're missing Zach Cunningham, you're missing Juergens. I mean, you don't even know. it's really tough, and I don't think I don't think I should even give them points in a discussion of what I think they're going to get. They don't deserve it. They don't.
Okay.
Go ahead. You want to do it? That's fine. I'm
gonna say Eagles 31-28. Eagles beat Seattle. That's right. 31-28. Eagles win.
Oh man.
I listen, man. I'm going down with the sinking ship.
I get it. No,
you know, if they lose this week, the team's 10-3. They've had 2 bad weeks. I don't consider the reason they lost because they lost to better teams. We've already showed we could beat Dallas. I believe they lost because they didn't give 100% and they weren't ready to play. I gotta believe that'll be fixed this week, and if it does, I expect them to get back on track. Now, if they don't win and they come out with the same effort, I think I'm going to be like, this thing's over. We're done. We're done. But I'm giving them this week. I believe they get this thing back and going again. So I'm going to say they win.
I hope you're right, and I'll be supporting. I'll be rooting for them. Because if I get pissed off about this team, it means that I care. Obviously, I care.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole thing.
Believe me, after the last 2 weeks, I don't blame anybody that would take Seattle over the Eagles. I don't.
Right.
I totally get it. It's just, I guess my big thing is I just don't truly believe that the last 2 weeks had to do with the Eagles are just not that good of a team. I think it had everything to do with stuff going on within the locker room and with the coaches and with the game plan. And I'm assuming and hoping that we have enough leadership with Fletcher Cox, with Lane Johnson, with Kelsey, with Jalen Hurts, with enough guys that leadership will come to fruition this week. But if they don't, then I'm going to tell
the number one thing. The number one thing I'm afraid of happening is that the morale is going to drop with bad play calling. So they build themselves up during the week. The players are getting together and they really want to turn this around with their mentality. But then if the bad play calling is going to result in really bad morale in game, and it's going to push over into after the game, and then it's going to get even more crazy, and then that's where it happens.
Maybe having Bayard go and kind of take over the scouting.
Isn't it weird? But isn't it weird that it's him that has to do it? It's nobody else that's been here that's doing that defensively. Isn't that kind of weird? A new player's only been here a few weeks.
I don't think if you look at the secondary, the guys in the secondary, James Bradbury doesn't look like that vocal leader type guy.
Right.
Darius Slay is all worried about his statistics. Then you have the other guys. That's not the thing for me, Gia. I don't think, I just don't think anybody else in the secondary is built like that at all, except for Bayard. I mean, we'll see. But at the same time, Jalen Hurts, if he is frustrated with the playbook, if he is frustrated with the stupid fumble exercise they were doing the other day, when's Jalen Hurts get up and go to the front office to the coaches and say, nah, we got to stop this. Somebody's got to speak up, 41-33, David Super Chat goes, Belichick hates the Eagles at Philly. Old Giants coach, Eagles 31, Hawks 10, bounce back game. I'm just kidding about Belichick. I wasn't serious.
Yeah, no.
I was kidding. I was joking. I don't think it could work because I don't think Howie Roseman would be willing to give that kind of control up to a guy like Belichick.
And we're lucky because the Eagles could look like the damn Chargers that got their asses kicked. I mean, someone that scores 60 something points on you is just, I mean, there's little changes that need to be made that aren't really hard. Like they're quick fixes. Like I'm not saying quick, but like you could, the advantage that they have right now is because since everybody knows what the Eagles do, because offensively they only have 10 plays in their playbook. That's what it looks like because nothing is creative at all. They could put a lot of stuff in their back pocket for the playoffs. They could really change things and take it and really take it to another team that's not going to, maybe surprise a team in the playoffs with what the Eagles do. That's not on paper. It hasn't been shown yet. So you never know.
Right. Yeah, you never know. Fabio David Super Chat goes, Malcolm did the same thing on defense. Yeah, but he's a leader. I mean, those are leaders. So, I mean, we'll see. It's going to be very interesting week. It really is,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder about Denard Wilson. I've been thinking a lot about Denard Wilson last year. This year. I've been thinking a lot because it was down to him and Desai. The players wanted him to be our defensive coordinator, and he left. And look what he's doing now. I mean, he's doing a great job. Could we have messed up by letting him go?
It seems like a lot of coaches that left here, a lot of players that left here are successful somewhere else. And I think there has got to be, if this is a failed season, even if they win against Seattle and say it's not by that much, and maybe they rest some guys at the end of the year or whatever, we obviously we're not gonna get home field advantage or whatever the case may be. Okay, then they make a change next year. If it's not good enough and they're one and done, if they're one and done, regardless if they win or lose tomorrow, if they win or lose tomorrow and they're still one and done in the playoffs, I feel like it's got to be a serious change. Serious.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think if they lose tomorrow, I think both coordinators are gone, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Dad says Bill will win tomorrow. I agree. I'll be screaming that, by the way, so you're more than welcome to come hang out. But, I mean, listen, we're going to find out Monday, dude. This is a big game. To me, this is a big tell-all game. This is a game that tells me everything I need to know about where this team is going and if it's truly over. But other than that, man, is there anything else you wanted to say before we get on out of here? I know we're over an hour in. Then yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been a week of like I don't know what we're promised. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I got to see a full game of. I mean, I can't see how much worse can it get. I mean, can it get worse?
I think Monday night after this game, I believe the Philly Shakedown podcast is going to be feeling very good. We're going to be in a very good place.
Hopefully.
I believe it. We're going to be in a very good place going into Christmas week, which is very important.
These people hate me. I'm hated, dude.
I get the same. Listen, I get the same thing. No matter what you say, you're going to piss somebody off. So you just say it. There's no way around it. I'll in the same comment section, I'll get that I'm a hater, and then I'm delusional. So like two people could hear the same damn thing and take the total opposite points of view of what I'm saying. That kind of tells me I'm where I need to be in the middle. You know what I mean?
I get it.
Angel says you guys are love. Thank you. Thank you so much. But that's it for tonight. I guess we're gonna get out of here. If you're new, hit the like. Make sure you subscribe. If you're my channel, click the link. Go sub up my man Joey Shakes. Now we got over what do we got? We got about 530 people in the chat between both channels. So come hang out. Make sure you subscribe. And we out of here.
All
We're
right.
gonna see what happens Monday.
We'll see. Peace.
We will see. Peace.
Play. We had one.
Yo, you gotta be motherfucking kidding me.
You gotta be kidding me. We have no time for one more play.
Look at this motherfucker
What are you doing?
running from
What are you doing?
to get off the field on third down.
What was that bullshit?
That is not right.
Kellen Moore, he's got to be better, man. He wasn't.
Oh, that's some bullshit. What was that? We had enough time for one more
He
play.
had an opportunity to win that game at the end.
But the referee screwed us.
Away, but, this is just
The brother screwed us.
I'm upset, but
The brother screwed
it
us.
is, man.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys games.
You
The brother
literally.
screwed us. The brother screwed us.